So here we go. This is my I said this before, but that's the best named road that I know, Moonlight Bay Road. It's nice out there too. Just a dead end. A lot of cottages out there. Had a lot of wind in the last 7 days. So there might be some trees down. What am I doing here? We had a few trees down over by our house in Palmer Rapids. Big ones too. there's a big crevice here. Hopefully I can get through it. They just drove right over this last week. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Stay on the left. If it looks like I'm being overly cautious, it's because I am. And the reason for that is I'm out here by myself. If I was with somebody, you know, I wouldn't be stopping and checking all these holdouts as carefully as I am now. But, you know, I'm out here, I mean, there's nobody, and nobody's going to come along today. I mean, this is it. So, you know, if I fell through one of those holes and I got stuck, you know, I'd be out here just like high-centered or something, and I don't want to spend my time doing that. I mean, I could get out, but I don't want to spend my time doing that. So that's why I'm just being overly cautious on all these holes. Man, there's a huge turkey. You probably don't see them on the GoPro, but I mean, he must be 50 pounds. His feet are like that. Absolutely perfect conditions right now. This is the best time. All the snow is just left. Lots of soft, slushy snow left. Muddy. Lots of water. Yeah, so like I said, I'm hoping to get down into Barker and Loon Lake today. Those are the trails that are south of Spectacle Lake Lodge. Very remote. I mean, that's in the boonies down there. It's way off the beaten path. People don't even know about those trails. Some of the hikers do. They hang out. They go to Spectacle Lake Lodge, but and of course me, I know them, of course. But there's not too many. I've never run into anybody down there with an ATV. The only time I ever saw anybody down there at all was late last October. I ran into a couple that were hiking down there, but that's it. Okay, so I'm now heading towards the trail that goes into Dickens Lake. It's up here about half a kilometer or so. Heading into Dickens Lake now. Keeping my fingers crossed that we can get in. Last week, coming from the other direction, it was plugged up with too much soft, deep snow coming from the Haskins Lake end, but so far so good. I'm a couple hundred meters into it. steep hill coming up here in a little bit, and if I can get down that, if it's not plugged up with deep snow, it should be okay. Last year when we were hiking through here on snowshoes, 18 kilometers, I took that trail by mistake, and we ended up, I didn't even realize we got off the main trail. And this was like, 2:30 in the afternoon in January, so it was getting dark by 4:30. And we still had like 7 or 8 kilometers to hike out, and we ended up way in there, walked in there about close to a kilometer before I figured out we had to come out and take this trail. It's not looking too bad. See, last week this would have been all still plugged up with deep snow. Just coming up to that beaver dam crossing here. Oh, that doesn't even look too bad. Further into the lake. Looking good. You know, this trail in the winter, this isn't groomed for sleds. So I'm probably the first one through here this year. Because last week you couldn't get through here. Good engine braking on the Grizzly. Now this tree right here on my right, that's snapped off. That wasn't here last fall. So that just snapped off this winter. And it snapped off perfectly parallel to the trail, so that's good. If that had been across the trail, I probably couldn't have got over it. Okay, coming up on Dickens Lake. Man, the water's up. Whoa. That's expected though this time of year. It's cool out, man. Well, there has been a couple of quads through here this year. And those are fresh tracks. I mean, normally I can drive out there another 20 feet, but not right now. Okay, so that's Dickens Lake, small lake, really nice. I'm not going to continue on, just about half a kilometer up that way. You go down to the trail, then you go over by Haskins Lake. I'm not going to do that. I'm assuming that's all good. I'll save that for another time. I want to get over to Brew Lake, to the hunt camp, and then I also want to get down into Loon Lake and Bark Lake, so that would just eat up time if I went in there. So just going to take a quick break here and then head back the same way I just came out. a trail I've never been up. Probably goes into a hunt stand. Okay, so I'm going to have to abort getting over to the hunt camp. I've come to this hole here, and like the main trail where I take to go over to the hunt camp, the abandoned hunt camp on Grizzly Lake. It's not very far away. It's like less than half a kilometer away. But this trail, this hole right here, this is always deep. Even in the summertime, this is deep, and it's not the depth right now that is the problem. The thing is, it's about 3/4 up the wheel, and then there's about that much ice that you're breaking through, and I'd be punching through it. Right, starting right from here for 30 feet, and you know, you might do some damage. So I'm just gonna have to hold off on getting over there for this ride, and we'll have to do it again after this ice goes out, because I just can't go in there and smash through that. You know, it's like 1 inch thick ice right here, and I stepped on it and I stuck a stick down in there, and it's almost, it would be almost up to the top of my tires, and there's no way you can go around on either side. So, you know, I'd be punching through that, you know, 1 inch thick ice for, you know, like ramrodding it with the front of my Grizzly. So I'm not going to do that. Anyway, we're going to head back and head over to Spectacle Lake Lodge and go down into Bark and Loon Lakes. There's the sun. It's supposed to be sunny today. Sunny and cool. Like, I think the high is like 5 or 6 Celsius. Somebody carved a face into that, I don't know what you call that on that tree, great big, looks like tree cancer or something. We're going to head back out to the rail bed now, and then go west a little bit on it, and pick up the trail that goes over to Spectacle Lake Lodge. Okay, we're on our way to Loon Lake. So south of Spectacle Lake Lodge. You just can't see it through the trees there, but the lake is just through here about 100 yards. going to go into this little rest stop area in here. I always stop here when I come through. Gives you a good view of the lake. How's that? So that's Spectacle Lake. And the lodge is up there about, a kilometer and a half. Here, just take we'll take a little break here and then we'll carry on. Ooh, this looks interesting. Oh man, I hope that bridge isn't, wow. It should be okay. I'm gonna have to check it out. Nice. Okay, we're into it now, on our way to Loon Lake. I think the only thing that would stop me from getting in is trees down, because I mean this isn't a sled trail, so you know I'm probably the first one in here this season, so there's a good chance that there'll be trees down. There's not really any big water holes or mud holes in here that should stop me, but trees is a good possibility. And the other thing I don't want to run into in here is a gorn. And if you don't know what a gorn looks like, well, here I'll put a picture of one right up here. I captured one on film a couple of years ago. This is a good rugged track. And this is in the boonies in here. And there's a big tree. I think this is I like all the tracks, but this is it's on my top 5 list for sure. It's just a nice length. It goes into a very nice lake. It's nice and rugged and it's remote. And it's it's not. It's got a couple of rugged hills on it, but it's not like a killer track. There's nothing in here that's going to destroy your machine or any bad mud holes that you'll get stuck in. Okay, well, I was saying, oh yeah, there's a whole mess up there too. Shit. You know, I don't have a chainsaw on me. And there's two, oh yeah, well that's, won't be getting into Loon Lake. Man, this looks like one of those microbursts went through here. I mean, there's this tree, that tree, and then there's more up there. They probably aren't showing up on the GoPro. Wow. And that's probably just from the windstorm we've had in the last few days, over the weekend. It was really windy. I forget which day it was. I think it was Saturday. All right, well, so much for that. Okay, I'll try and go down into Bark Lake, but it's probably going to be the same thing. But hey, we'll give it a shot. Turn around here. Okay, so now we're on our way to Bark Lake. It's about 2 kilometers down here. It's similar to the Loon Lake Trail. Not quite as rugged. It's kind of more straight. It's still a really nice trail. It's a beautiful destination when you get down there. But and I was going to do this one anyway. It's probably going to be the same. I'm betting on I'm going to be stopped by some trees down. So I'm looking forward to going out to New Brunswick on my motorcycle in late June. I've been doing that trip for years. I mean, the very first time I ever did it was 1980, and that's when I was in the Canadian Forces for 34 years. And my first posting after basic training in Cornwallis was Gagetown, New Brunswick. And so I was out there for 7 years. So I used to ride my motorcycle home to Parry Sound all through the 80s. And then, you know, I got posted to Valcartier, Quebec. But, you know, we started going through the States in the early 80s. I had a riding friend. And we started going through the States, and, you know, we'd cross at St. Stephen, New Brunswick, into Calais, Maine, and then we'd go through Maine, and down through New Hampshire and Vermont, cross Lake Champlain, and come back up a Cornwall, and then over to Parry Sound, and, you know, we go on camping trips and all that kind of stuff. I'll just chop this one. I'm not at a good angle here. Hopefully, that'll be the biggest one I have to do. Warming up now. I used to carry a more of just a brush axe, but a lot of times it wasn't heavy duty enough. So but yeah, like I was saying, we did the Gaspé Peninsula back in 2018 on our bikes. and it was hot. I mean, it was like, when I left, the day that I left, it was in the mid 30s. It was like 35, 36 Celsius. And I got to, where did I get to? St. Albans, Vermont, first day. And then the next day I left at like, oh, I was on the road by 5 o'clock in the morning just to beat some of the heat. And I got, where did I get to that day? I got as far as Farmington, Maine. And it was just, oh, I think it was even hotter. I think it was in the upper 30s that day. Just incredibly hot. And then the next day, just the same heat. I picked up my friend and made it all the way to Rishabukto, New Brunswick. And then the next morning it was pissing down rain, which was the only rain that we got on the whole trip. And we got as far as, where did we get to? We got to as far as Campbellton, New Brunswick. And then we went from there to the Gaspé. And then we looped around back to Campbellton. And then we headed back over to Woodstock, New Brunswick. And that's where we split up, because then he just kept on going, and he came back to Rishabukto. And I split, and I went back down through the States and in through Bangor, Maine. And back home. So I went through Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and New York State. Great trip, but the 3 or 4 days in the middle was so hot. Oh man. And I don't strip down and wear bare minimum. I wear full kit when I'm biking. So I got all I'm armored right from head to foot. Full face helmet, gloves, big like the armored jacket, pants, boots. I cringe when I see bikers in their short sleeve shirts, no open face helmets. Well, not for me. So far, so good. I hope this keeps up. It's a nice track. Some nice hiking trails down here as well. There's one that's called the Wolf Trail. You can actually get to Loon Lake from down here, but it's a hiking trail. It's not a motorized trail. there. Like I said, it's not too long. I think it's about, well, from where I started back there, like, I don't know, a couple of kilometers. Maybe 1.6 miles, something like that. Down here where I think when I was down here last, I think it was Labor Day weekend, but I think a bear jumped into the water just as I was coming to the end of the trail, because there was a big splash. This is that's the trail right there, I believe. I'll have to look on the map, but that's the one I think that goes over towards Loon Lake, and this is called the Wolf Trail right here. Going down. So anyway, yeah, I sold my 2018 KLR adventure bike late last October. And like I said, I regretted it. I regretted it as soon as I did it. And then this spring, as soon as I wanted a KLR. KLRs are adventure bikes. I don't like cruisers. I don't find them comfortable. They're just a pain in the ass to handle for me anyway. I like the smaller CC bikes like that. They're just a breeze to handle. The KLR is just a really comfortable bike. It's built for long range hauling, long range trips. It's like a pack mule. Load it up and go. A KLR, a Kawasaki 650 KLR, that's the bike that guys drive from South America to Alaska. If you want to do a bike for that trip, that's the one you take. And they're just a really good value too. I mean, out the door, it was like $9,300. I think the sticker price, I think it was $76, and then plus your tax and stuff. Just a great bike. Oh, this doesn't look very good. Oh, this might stop me here. This looks like a swamp with thick ice. Damn, I'm really close to. I'll have to walk on that and check it. If it's solid, it should be okay. And it looks pretty solid. But I don't want to fall through some ice here. Yeah, this should be no problem. Well, yeah, it should be. That's still 2 feet thick. The problem is sliding. You don't see it on camera, but it's really tilted here, and I don't want to slide into those trees, up against those trees. In fact, yeah, that might be nasty. I'll have to see here. yeah, I was coming in, I'll show you where it was. Just up here a little ways yet. It's actually right on the border of a small provincial park. Yeah, so I was coming up in here like this, right here. Man, there's that water below, and right about here, like there's a big splash right through this. It's really weird because right now there's no water. It's because they've drained Bark Lake. This is a huge lake out here, and they've drained it this time of year. But yeah, there's a big splash, and I thought it was either a bear or a moose. Oh wow, man! Like this is really low, and it's man. Just taking a quick little walk around here. So yeah, I mean normally that's all water there, but I'm not sure why. But every year they drain us. I mean that water's down 100 feet from the shoreline. I mean that's all water in there normally. There's a Jamaica beach here right now. Look at that. Wow, man, I could drive out here. This is actually Little Cub Bay. Bark Lake is over here. This is like a bay of it, but Bark Lake is just beyond that. Those trees and those hills over there. And Bark Lake is a huge lake. It's like I don't know, 20-25 kilometers long. Man, I should bring the Grizzly out here. This is cool. Nice driftwood here. But yeah, right over there is where the big splash was. And I mean, it had to be a big animal because it was a big splash. I just saw something move out of the corner of my eye. So it's a mystery. All right, so that's going to be it for this ride. Well, at least I got into Bark Lake. I didn't get into Loon Lake, and I didn't get into the hunt camp. But hey, it's all good. That's what happens this time of year. You just get stopped. So next week for sure, I'm going to head down to the Massanuga, and that's down south of Denby and kind of north of Bon Echo Park, just off of Highway 41. I'll probably do the big loop there, go on the east side and the west side. But everybody have a good week, and we'll catch you on the next ride. Thanks for watching.